Alrighty, everyone. Sorry it took me there a second to get ready. So you all have probably seen what I've seen. I just want to make real quick. I want to make sure we're good on audio. We're obviously not good on the chart. It's ironic, guys. I got back and I felt a sudden urge. I didn't have any alerts set for Bitcoin at the moment, and I was like, you know what? I just gotten some Chick-fil-A. Got back from a great workout. And I was like, you know what? I've been looking at other markets today. We just did a video today on recessions. I think it's time I looked at crypto today. And it would appear that this was a good time. It was literally just a few minutes ago. But anyways, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all aren't getting too fretted about the price action. Interestingly enough, it looks like even though we did have a wicks that went below the support line, prices kind of playing tango around 5,000 here, which is in line with the support line here. That was a pretty brutal decline. Now, a lot of people are wondering why this might have happened. I was concerned pretty severely with the kind of volume you saw in exchanges like Coinbase here. I'll go ahead and turn off NVT. But we can see here the volume was pretty significant. Now, the only thing that I've seen as I was taking a look at news now was a piece here of a flash crash on Kraken. And it tends to be that these exchanges will follow each other in tandem. But another thing I got, and I have no assurance that this is true or not. This was one of the other articles that popped up saying Bitfinex, or the operators of Bitfinex, the cryptocurrency exchange that owns Tether, had been accused of covering missing funds. I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm saying in the sense of who's claiming that and if it's really a scare on the market, because I think people have known for some time that there's a probability that that's the case for Tether, right? So anyways. Mr. Harry Lasagna has said Chick-fil-A, a favorite chicken sandwich. Nice to have you back in the stream, Harry Lasagna. Yes, it is. It's a wonderful fast food chain. I love eating there. I'm usually a Chipotle guy, but I've slowly but surely been having an affair with my change in fast food. Just don't tell Chipotle. Shh. Or maybe tell them to give them a better rewards program. All right. So yeah, people are saying Wall Street Journal FUD. Guys, I'll be fair. It's just systematic in this case. I really don't think that one article can really cause people to be that fearful, or people to be like, what? What? They don't have the Tether in reserves? What? No. Who would have guessed? Like, yeah, they've openly admitted on their website that it's no longer dollar to dollar peg. It's assets backing up, the dollar value that they've created. Real quick, I want to make sure, is the music too loud, guys? Let me know if that's the case. I think I turned down the audio volume, so it might just be a little bit loud on my end, so I'm going to turn that down. Yeah, but good to see that it's at least holding 5,000. And interestingly enough, this makes me think that we're still on our way towards carrying this, unless we get a 4 hour or an hour to 4 hour close below this. That would be the significant factor. But so long as we hold above 5,000, close to around 5,100, I think we'll be fine. We'll have to see. But that was pretty significant volume in a very short period of time. William Frere, that's a good point. Facts do not equal FUD. Neil Payne, good question. So I'll go ahead and kind of clarify it for you guys. Basically, as of now, all we have right now is an article saying that there was FUD tied to, some are saying that there's a Wall Street Journal article. I'll go ahead and try and look for that real quick. Let's see if we get it here on news now. Let's see. Here we go. They did share it on CoinDesk here. Okay. Bitfinex covered $850 million loss using Tether funds. Wow. So the New York Attorney General's office has alleged that the crypto exchange Bitfinex lost $850 million and subsequently used funds for affiliated stablecoin operator Tether to secretly cover the shortfall. According to a press release issued Thursday, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, announced that she had obtained a court order against Bitfinex Incorporated, which operates both Bitfinex and Tether. So they're both subsidiaries of the parent company, ordering them to cease violating New York law and defrauding New York residents. James said that in the investigation by her department, James had said that in the investigation by her department determined that Bitfinex engaged in a cover-up to hide the apparent losses of $850 million of commingled client and corporate funds. That's interesting. Interesting enough, an exchange who's gotten hacked before and basically went through a very interesting scheme to make up for getting hacked. That was not a very moral way of doing it. Has now yet again created coins out of thin air and used it to cover their losses. What? That's why there's that premium on the exchange, huh? Interesting. It's like people knew something. Oh man. That's why I tell you guys. It's why I never used the Bitfinex rate. It's one of the few exchanges I didn't feel comfortable with. Never put my money on Bitfinex. I mean, U.S. traders, to be fair, were cut off a while ago. But even when I started, I knowing the past story of Bitfinex, I was always a little bit thrown off. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see here. Andres Romero said, I was short on BitMEX times 25 because Moonboys and Greed was at an all-time high. Well, Andres, I bet you're very happy right now. Hopefully you caught the ride. Niels is saying, is this the new Mt. Gox? Not to the scale of what Mt. Gox was. Mt. Gox was, in the sense of where the market was valued at the time, a much larger hack. I mean, this isn't really a hack in this case. This is basically them covering losses using Tether funds. Let's see. According to the statement, Bitfinex sent $850 million of customer and corporate funds to Crypto Capital Corp, a payment processor that is said to be holding funds for other exchanges as well, such as Quadriga CX. Oh, man. Funds from Tether's reserves were used to make up for the shortfall, but neither the loss nor Tether's funds movements were disclosed to customers. So far, $700 million is alleged to have been transferred. That's pretty damn significant. I'll give it that. Under the court order, Bitfinex directors, officers, principals, agents, employees, contractors, and assignees, or any other affiliated individuals are to cease accessing, loaning, or making any other claim to the dollar reserve held by Tether. You know, it's interesting. Over the last few hours, did anyone else notice? If you go over to Twitter, that I follow a lot of the pages that talk about either huge whale moves or the Tether printer, and they just printed 300 million Tether coins. Interesting. Oh, man. That's not good, guys. I mean, I got to be fair. That's going to be pretty detrimental to crypto. I'm curious. I actually want to see what other stablecoins are doing to Tether. Let's see. No, that's true USD. So let's do... why am I blanking on USD Tether? Yeah, let's see if that's... Oh, wow. But I thought it was pegged to $1. What's happening? Oh, man. Yeah, I would be dumping it like crazy. Well, personally, I'm not telling you guys to go out and do anything, but it's interesting. You know, something so big can only cause this thing to drop 1 cent. Like, I think that goes to head in proving that people already knew Bitfinex was up to something shady. And not to mention as well that people don't really care. Like, when people are working with stablecoins like this, at least traders in crypto, they're only using it as a gateway to stay in dollars and pay less fees on traditional exchanges. It's really sad. There's a lot of great stable coins out there. I like DAI. I like audited coins like TrueUSD that actually have professional auditing firms that have the obligation to want to keep it and uphold their brand. With this, where you have to trust it, and then eventually, after multiple lies, came out and said, oh, actually, okay, it's actually backed by a various set of assets. You know, it's crazy. Ferris said, why don't we start a dump Tether movement? That's the new not your keys, not your crypto movement. Neil brought up a good point here. This is absolutely ridiculous. I love crypto and people's greed and ruining adoption for people who need it. Well, it's interesting, Neil. You know, with this point of kind of ruining it, I would say that it's interesting. What is Tether at the end of the day? It's trusted. It's centralized to a degree. Sure, you can send Tether to various wallets and various exchanges, but it's centralized. You have to trust a central entity. And it's one thing to have an audited firm that actually looks over your reserves and makes sure that you're keeping to your word. honestly, I think that's a great step in the direction if we're gonna try to adjust to a world of stablecoins for the time being before crypto becomes stable. But man, it's like as if we're not learning our lessons, right? Trusting central entities like exchanges, like third parties in regards to stablecoins. What we're doing actually with Project Genesis right now is we're actually trying to partner with a wide range of stablecoins. But I can tell you, I would never, ever, not only take a dime in the sense of donations to our organization, but along with that, I would never partner with something like Tether because it's completely opposite of what we're aiming to build. It's trusted. Right? We want to build something that has minimal trust. Right? Exchanges should only be there and apparent when you need to do an exchange service. They should not be the premier custodial manager of your funds, in my opinion. You should work as hard as you can. If a platform is not working as hard as they can to make it easy to be your own custodian, there's something wrong, right? And that I'm going on a tangent here. I guess that's not really relevant. But to give you all a real quick update, again, we got people probably coming in and out. Just letting you all know there was a big flash crash on a variety of exchanges. You've probably seen the price action, and it has to do with allegations from a Wall Street Post. It's been spreading around the crypto article news space that Bitfinex, the parent company of Bitfinex and Tether Limited, had basically been accused of covering up missing funds. In fact, up to $850 million. Again, the number is shocking. I think it's a pretty significant number. Do I think it's Mt. Gox levels? No, but it's one of the more serious things that we've seen this year and that we probably saw in 2018 as well. But I got to tell you all, who's vindicated right now? I hope that's the right term. Got me in English. I would say vindicated means you were proven right in the end. Bitfinex was on Twitter, and I remember talking to him a while ago. I don't think he's a perfect individual or whoever he is. We don't really know who Bitfinex is, but I can tell you that they called it. I bet he, she, or whoever they are is celebrating like crazy right now, right? So let's see. It's interesting. Crypto Hopti said, I think this is why America is slow to pass regulation, have to deal with Tether first. If we would have just provided worked alongside projects that are actually being audited and or support projects like MakerDAO, of course they're not going to support that because it's a decentralized dollar that's censorship resistant. You're in a catch-22. Government doesn't want to give up power. Banking system doesn't want to give up power. And then we're left with, I think to them, they don't mind about this because to them it's a drop in the bucket comparative to some of the losses people experience through, banking scale, money laundering, criminal activities, Ponzi schemes. That's what their focus is on. They're like, little crypto fringe world. We don't have to take care of that. So crypto's in a very tough spot. It needs to actually be built out in a decentralized way. So you don't have to worry about a company not having $850 million in actual reserves or using money that is supposed to be clients to cover up their own bad mistakes, right? So again, no matter what the case is, like guys, it teaches us that you got to own your own money. And when you use exchanges, use it quickly and find the next best wallet you can move it off of and put it in your wallet, unless you're trying to, try to time the market every 5 seconds, right? Oh, yeah, I want to check the Kraken pair. That's what people are saying is like the worst. Am I blind? Am I the only one who doesn't see Kraken? That doesn't seem like they have. I'll do the Tether pair. Let's see that. No? Maybe they stopped showing Kraken. Wow, interesting. Okay. Or could I just? I could just select Kraken. Nah, that's gonna take too much. Well, anyways, yeah. I mean, I think we had that photo there in the article. Oh yeah, there it is. Wow, 4,300. thing I hate about this is that it messes up, it completely ruins the chart in a lot of ways. Let's see here. I like that. That's a very positive way of looking at this. The Skywarp99 said, the more nefarious players we can get rid of near the bottom during the bear will lead to a more stable bull. Absolutely. And I will say this. It's interesting. You're going to have a lot of activity like this in a bear market, but I can tell you all that I've seen a lot of wonderful people really start to shine, because now I don't have to filter through a lot of the bad people in the space. Like when I go to conferences, I meet a lot less people, but man, do I meet some awesome individuals. And people like this, they risk in the short term. They use client funds to cover up their losses. They're not going to get away with this. If the New York Attorney General's on top of it like this, and it's that much money, they're going to get on top of it. And this has been in the know for a while. I think has been the sole reason there's been a Bitfinex premium. People have been just waiting for something to come out, but I didn't think it would be this severe. That's pretty incredible. Sean, glad you could join. How are you doing, man? Mr. Ether, well, we are live here talking about it. It was interesting enough, guys. You all know how I always mess up my titles. I was so scared. I'm like, oh God, there you go again, Nick. You forgot to change the title. And I looked, and it was named Thursday Stream. And I happily looked at the calendar, and it was Thursday. So today I didn't mess up the video title. We'll just keep it at that. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, it's funny. So Jesse Shanks was saying that it's still kept 50% plus dominance. So alt season still is still coming. Well, I'm curious just in this case what alts are doing right now. Let's take a look at ETH. Oh, there's an actual Kraken pair we can look at. Yikes. Whew. It looks like a lot of it's recovering. But yeah, see, I don't really see how this would I would say that if Tether stops providing support in this case for crypto markets, then yeah, that might be a negative. But I don't see how this would get people. This would get people to, pay a premium for Bitcoin with their Tether, right? So actually, I wonder if we can check the Tether pair. Would that be? No. That it's kind of illogical, right? Like, tell me if I'm wrong on this, guys, in the comments. Oh, you guys might have 500 people slapping me across the face. Actually, we got 600 now. Wouldn't it be that if I was holding a bunch of Tether and I realized that an exchange who also manages the creation of that coin was using that to cover, things that they weren't, or was using it in any certain way, I probably wouldn't want to store my millions of dollars in wealth in Tether. So what I would do is be buying Bitcoin at a premium, right? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong on that, but yeah, it looks like it's. Honestly, I like the hiring lows here, and the continued support at this range here around 5150. I mean, I want to see this basically start to regain a lot of these losses very quickly and get back up into a range around 5300 to back to where we were around 5500. If it doesn't move up quite quickly, I mean, it might take a little bit of time to bottom, but I just want to see hiring lows every time here. Crypto Brad mentioned coincidence shorts went up yesterday. Article is written quickly to time this dump. Let's check out the shorts real quick. Let's get it here on the daily. I mean, it's up a little bit. I wouldn't say that's significant enough, but I mean, really, since back here in April, that's been a pretty steady increase. So I'll bring it back here to Bitcoin. Actually, I want to go ahead and take a look at some other altcoins. Litecoin, let's see what they're doing. Not actually that significant. Damn, not as bad. Cool stuff. Yeah, seeing that we're holding on this range, let's take a look at the 4-hour, guys. It makes it a little bit clearer. Yeah, sure, the wicks broke through here, but unless you get an actual candle close, I'm not going to be too worried. If it does, yeah, I might consider after this leap up, we might be at the point where we need the retracement, but, Alrighty, just for some more people in the back and stuff who just joined in, to let you all know, there was basically a major flash crash across most exchanges. Kraken had the most significant. This has to do with allegations that Bitfinex, parent company of Bitfinex Exchange, that many people know, as well as Tether Limited, had been using tethers in this case to cover up missing funds, basically on losses that they had incurred. Over 850 million apparently. So far they've guaranteed 700 million. It's been alleged to be transferred, but possibly up to 850. So it's pretty significant. But how does that tamper Bitcoin's value? Doesn't really. More than anything, I think what this is all about right here is that people are scared that Tether is not going to continue to operate. And Tether has in the past had some benefit to Bitcoin. It provides extra liquidity to buy crypto, right? Brian said I had a 1 BTC order filled at 47.50 on Kraken. Brian, there you go. You're probably a very happy man right now. Glad to hear that you guys been on. Some of you have been on the right side of this with your recent trades. Damien asked, where do I think we go from here? Take a look at this 5-minute, guys. Like this is looking quite nice. Nice reversal pattern. Higher lows, starting to cup up in the range that we held down here. This was in a very short period of time. Fast moves fast moves to the downside can also have fast moves back upwards. I just realized my webcam's a little bit off there. Alrighty. Brian said, "Hey Nick, long time with you since 2016." I'm assuming you mean 2017. I only started the channel then, but I do appreciate it, Brian. I remember you. A quick question. I'm on the fence about going into nulls. A while back, you did 2 videos on nulls. I'd love a few words on how you feel about them now. I like nulls as a project. I liked its kind of like how, as a project, basically, it focused on attaining its status as a protocol and actually about building dApps on top of it. They had a lot of interesting quirks that I hadn't seen in other projects, but I haven't kept up with it. I know that they're launching their mainnet quite soon, so could be good. But I did it more. I mean, as I talked about in the videos, as much as I was excited about it, it's more for the trade potential in that case. I don't have any long-term positions or any major positions in nulls. Casper, good time short. Nice job. John Roberts said Brock Pierce may be implicated and therefore EOS could be tarnished. I wouldn't want to. I don't want to conspiratize or build conspiracies around it, but he might. I mean, there's so many people. I mean, a lot of the OGs will have ties to these companies in one way or another. It doesn't mean that they were involved in it. Kevin, good to hear, man. Let's see here. We'll go through a few more comments and questions, then we'll dive back into it. Let's see here. You know, Jason, that's the same thing I'm asking. Why is it that when people are now should be fearful of Tether out of anything, the idea is that Bitcoin should move up, right? In a logical world, but we're in crypto. You asked the wrong question in the wrong industry, Jason. Everything's opposite of reality. Neil says he needs to get home and close his short. Brian, no problem, man. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it. Well, Mike, there's about 1,600 altcoins out there. It would be hard for me to keep up with every single one of them, but I'm not a million people. I'm just myself. Let's see here. Some people are saying, Amen said, ignore the news. We just got rejected from the 50-week MA, just like what happened in 2015. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. You know, I don't know if I call that a 50-week rejection. I mean, sure, obviously yes, we're below it right now, but what I mean by that is that usually when you have a rejection at a weekly moving average, for example, I'll make my point here before we take a look back. This is clear support on like the 250 week. Same here, right? The wicks didn't go too far, extended below, barely might have gone below the indicator, but held there 2 times consecutively. The wicks was kind of extended over that. It should have stopped out at 54.84, went up to 56.50. Maybe for a short period of time. I'll give you that in that case. So you might be right, Amen. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at some of the historical price action. Bitstamp's always the good go-to. It's my long-term chart. Yeah, now this is like a nice steady 50-week moving average rejection. Price didn't even go up above the indicator when it actually was $1 below. So you can see here, look at the number up here, the H from the high, and then the green number here when I hold it over here. See, that's a very clear rejection. But you may be right. It might be the historical significance, and this might bring us down towards our third low. Eventually, I believe it's going to be somewhere around what was previous resistance. But I'd like for that to kind of hold for a while and come down over here and be in line with the previous two lows, but we might not get that. That was what we talked about in my reasoning for Bitcoin and crypto markets going into a bull market setting the final low this summer and then really starting to pick up pace going into the fall and winter of 2019. Alrighty, let's see. Steve has said, "What a shame Bitcoin was looking to go higher this week. Is this more? This is more drama than the Kardashians." Frank Inglis, thank you very much for the donation, Frank. It's been a while since we got a donation here on one of the live streams. Nick, why do you not cover declining net energy and its drastic effect on real productivity growth? We have gone from 100 to 1 down to 13 to 1 in 40 years. It is the economy. Frank, I'd like to look a little bit more into net energy. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I'm just not certified to discuss it right at this moment, but I would actually like to dive into it. I've heard about that topic. What was the... I usually don't watch Vice, but there was a Vice piece that was talking about, they really emphasized how energy at the end of the day is what usually leads to some of the major leaps forward in an economy, making energy cheap and accessible. And I also know a variety of people who use measurements of net energy in that sense of determining the economy. So I have to look more into it, to be fair, Frank. I'll actually, because I'm always interested in stuff like that. We just did a huge video on the economy today. I'll go ahead and write that down. Don't want to talk in there I'm not qualified in. Net energy. Thank you very much, Frank. And who knows, I might do a video on it. It seems like a lot of people really like the video we did today on the recession, the reasons for why I believe a recession is coming. Frank, it says that you said you voted for me. Where did you vote for me for? Either way, I appreciate it. Data 2020, right? Can we make it happen, guys? Can we take crypto mainstream? Mr. Ether, it's setting up the Brave browser has been one of many things I need to set up. I know you guys keep pestering me about it, but with all due respect and reason, you guys have every right to. You guys are trying to support me, which I appreciate. I tried getting it set up a long time ago, and it was quite difficult back in the day. I was running in some roadblocks with it, but I bet there's a good tutorial on it now. Just was actually exploring minds.com and possibly starting to upload again on Steemit. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Or actually, it's on DTube and stuff, but I could share on my Steemit. Jesse Shanks. Yeah, it's interesting. We actually were talking, putting politics aside, it was really cool to see Andrew Yang come out and talk about crypto policy. And we're actually considering, I think we were talking and stuff about potentially having him on as like a person on the Dashcast. I don't know if he'll make the time for it. He's pretty busy. But who knows? If we can get him on, I'd be happy to have him on and kind of avoid more of the politics. I'd like to ask him about a little bit of his UBI policy and things like that. But I'd really like to talk to him about his crypto legislation in that case. I think a lot of people would be interested to hear what his thoughts are on crypto. Absolutely, Brian. Mass adoption. Now, over the next decade, we're going to see some really incredible stuff. We're doing some stuff over at Project Genesis. I think that'll help with that too. A lot of people wonder what the white thing is on the wall. It's funny because so get this. It's actually a light thing on the wall, and people are so mad about like, Nick, you need to get rid of that. And we're actually going to do a whole studio rebuild out sometime soon in the near future. But I took that off. I was like, okay, at least I can minimalize a little bit. And I looked at it and I'm like, no way. It's like a freaking bull. Like it looks like a bull in the background. It's got the little horns coming out. It's my good luck charm. And the wall behind it, it probably might not appear like this, but it's a green wall. So guys. Bull, green wall. It's a good luck charm. We need to keep it. All right, Mr. Ethan, I'll definitely look into it. I'll write that down as well to set up the Brave browser. Let's write down Brave. You guys have pushed me enough. I'll do it. I appreciate it. You guys want to support the channel. It's a cool idea. I just at first I couldn't use it because I couldn't get a lot of my extensions on. Christo and Crypto. Is Christo in the chat? Oh, I don't know. I love Christo. He's a good guy. Let's see here. We'll go look at one more comment here, and then just to let you guys know again, always want to make sure, because I know with these things people are popping in and out. To let you all know, we've basically got some news coming out with Bitfinex, who supposedly used 850 million Tether in this case to cover up losses. It was alleged by the New York prosecutors, or basically the New York Attorney General. So you can check out I'll drop the link here if you guys would like to read into it. Let's see here. Seems like a lot of you are happy about the Brave browser. Yeah, I would appreciate it, guys, if you want to support the channel. Anything helps. Brandon Tuck, yeah, honestly, I know a lot of people have been asking about the coin of the month, or my top 3 picks or something like that. I mean, I talk about altcoins from time to time in the daily updates, so I recommend if you guys can check it out. Keep tuned to the channel and stuff. You'll see some altcoins that I'm watching, but there just isn't, I've honestly set my standards really high. Not to mention it's not a bull market just yet, so even if they're just speculative trades, for the short term, there's just not many good opportunities right now. So if I think altcoins are at a good period, I won't talk about altcoins, but I might do like a fundamental analysis, and again, I'll fix that into a daily update and let you guys know about what I'm watching. Alrighty. Casper, when are you coming to Denmark? I should have came to Denmark. I was not too far away, just a few months ago, or just this past month. Don Tapscott would be cool to talk to, Mac. Dharma, I actually do really like Dharma David. I would love to talk to the team, because we need to work with a lot of the lending projects out there with what we're doing with Project Genesis. Dharma is an awesome project. Edward Fisher, thank you very much for the donation, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for all your content. You really sparked something in me to learn more about markets, especially crypto and our economy. Well, Edward, I appreciate it, man. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'm really glad to hear you like the content of the channel. Yeah, there's opportunities to make money in finance and everything like that, but for me, I mean, stuff like this is really cool. Like, and then someone made a really good comment earlier, like, this is more drama than the Kardashians. I love drama. I love learning about this kind of stuff, but like, this is the stuff that matters, like when there's money movements like this. And it's amazing to see like things repeat and to understand markets. And yeah, I get jittery about it if you can't already tell, but that's why I'm in finance. I don't really, trust me, I'm not driving around a Lamborghini or anything like that. I love finance, and specifically crypto, for the potential behind it. So as you probably well know, if you know about economics and you know about the flaws in the traditional system, you'll know why crypto is valuable. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Appreciate the donation. What do you think about XRP? Will we fall to 25 cents or not? I doubt it. Well, actually, I want to check. Let me see real quick. Ooh, I don't like seeing that 29 cents. I need to get the actual longer term chart here. Is it Bitstamp that we need? I think it's Bitstamp. Yep. Yep, so long as we hold on this line, everything's all good. Oh, actually, that's not good. We need to come back up. We need to make this like a thin wicks like we had over here. Now on the log chart, things look fine and dandy, but I would really not like this to close. I'd like this to close back up here, above 30 cents. I think XRP has great potential, possibly for the next cycle, as most momentum plays do. But That's not good to see this breaking down. The Bitcoin comparative for XRP already looks bad enough. Yeah, it already broke through that. What was hopefully support, but didn't hold. So I think you're probably going to go down here to 4,000 Satoshis. Or whatever, basically. I think the USD pairing is more important, but there's no serious support until you get down to that range. It's held over here, and his rough resistance as well over here on 3,500. Pozo, I would love to come visit Argentina. I heard from a friend who's a journalist throughout South America, predominantly in Argentina. She said, I met her in Seattle, Neo DevCon, she's a really sweet girl, who basically talked about how at the conferences in Argentina and in South America, you're pulling hundreds of people. In one case, she said there was over 1,000 people. And you guys get it. You guys know why crypto is important because you're experiencing why it's important now. Sorry to see that that's happening, but I can't wait to see people in Argentina and people in the rest of the world using crypto. It's what drives me personally, trying to find the solutions to it. Miss Taxi Driver said, "I'm learning a lot from this drama." Yeah, it's much more interesting than the Kardashians. Crypto Crush, thank you so much, Nick. Hey, man, pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I love doing it. Let's see here. The bond markets in Argentina had a huge drop today. Interesting, because I got to check into that. I usually keep an eye from time to time on emerging market bonds and use that information when I'm trading currency markets sometimes. Rondier said, "Good job, Nick. Why do you get so much hate nowadays?" Rondier, I mean, it's a market cycle. Look, like, it's funny because I've always used the internet. I've used it since I was 3rd, 4th grade in the United States, and that's like around like the age of 8, 9 or something. I would actually not. Sorry, scratch that. I've actually used the internet when I was much younger, probably 3 or 4. My first website was eBay. I've gotten used to the internet over time. I was an early adopter of YouTube in 2007. Like, in a platform where people can say anything, you just don't let it get to you. Not to mention, we're in a bear market. People get a little bit, I guess you could say, salty, or they get a little bit upset. You know, it happens. I'm just here to do what I do, and if people like it, they like it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's just doing what you believe is best and talking about what you love. How beautiful is the internet in that sense? See, the thing is, I find that people don't use the internet properly. The internet is a wonderful tool. Lets you connect in so many ways you wouldn't be able to before. But Rondier, I appreciate the positive comment and stuff. Stuff like that always reminds me why I do what I do. So helps balance out the negative comments. All right. Let's see here. Kelsey Shepard says, "I think it's more likely history repeating itself rather than a flash crash." That's a very good point. I know, Kelsey, probably in regards to repeating history, you're probably mentioning what I think it was Amal, or I'm sorry, there's so many names flying through the board here, but someone had said that it was a similar rejection at the 50 week. Might be the case. Who knows? Could just be that people are selling and using this as a catalyst to do it, you know? Because again, as we talked about, fundamentally, the news should bring up Bitcoin's price, but, you know, or at least especially on the Tether pairings. But that's good theory, Kelsey. Let's see. Marky365 said, "Nick, ever been to South Africa? We're pro-crypto and reporting the highest percentage adoption rate amongst internet users in the world." Marky, yes, I've heard about that, and I have not been to South Africa. I want to visit Cape Town so bad. It looks like it's a beautiful area of the planet. I would like to come down there. I'd like to meet people. And I know there's been some disruptance there and stuff, so that's why I can see how crypto has been getting really big. I keep up with the South African rand as a trade on Forex markets. But I can absolutely see why South Africa has been a pro-crypto in this case. And best of luck to you guys in that case. I'd love to come down there sometime, maybe do a meetup if I'm doing maybe a tour near the region. It's just a little bit of a distance for me to go to one specific location. But who knows, maybe I'll make a trip throughout that region. I'll let you guys know. Alex said exactly what was on my mind when I heard this was related to Bitfinex. Bitfinex, the personality on Twitter, is the happiest man alive right now. He is. He probably is. Oh man. Let's see here. Josh, Nick is turning into a potato. Look, I need to show, I think, what was it, Nestle, what were the companies? I can't remember. IBM, there was Carrefour, it's probably pronounced different. Yeah, I think Nestle, those three companies were the ones that were talking about creating a system for tracking like potato-based products on the blockchain. How ironic. That was literally something we joked about like a year and a half ago. Honestly, I think I deserve some royalties on top of that. Let's at least be fair. If not patent infringement, at least some royalties on top of the use of the blockchain. Each transaction, I get one potato coin, which resembles a real, genuine backed potato, or baked potato. Ooh, even better, a baked potato. Brian, possibly. I'd say that algos dominate this market, so that if something like this happens, traders in Asia, and China and Japan and stuff, will be able to react to this. But I don't think that there's going to be much significant change when the Asia time zone comes up. Some people traders are already probably waking up. In crypto, you're almost awake 24/7. Neil Payne said, Nick really got into trading 2 years ago because of this channel. Just finished How to Trade for a Living and looking for a new trading book. Neil, that's awesome. I'm not the best in regards to trading books. I read a decent amount of books. I have a good collection, but I don't have a lot of good trading books. I learned a lot of my stuff from online through video tutorials, so I'm probably not much help in that regard. But I can pass you some great documentaries and videos for trading. Brian, glad you just joined, guys. If you guys haven't already, I know we probably got some new people coming in. If you guys haven't, consider subscribing maybe. We'd really appreciate it. We've got lots of great content here on the channel. I'm thinking about doing like a weekly live stream as well, so if you guys think that sounds good, let me know. MF Khan, no problem, man. Glad I could do it for you guys. I'm very thankful that I happened to be checking Bitcoin's price right when this happened. Yeah, I do not want to see this roll back over. It needs to keep setting higher lows for me to get really confident. Oh, Chris, if you want to donate to DataDash in this case, or make a donation or contribute in some way, you basically go to the Streamlabs donation link at the bottom. I'll get more from that rather than the super chat. There's a $sign on YouTube, but that they take like 1/3 of it. Sometimes, some cases more. But I would recommend doing the Streamlabs link that's down below in the description. I'll pretty much get like 99% of the donation if you do that. So any amount, man. Hey, really appreciate it. And you can ask a question with it as well, and I'll take a look at OBS in that case and check it out. Let's see here. Marky said he's in Cape Town, and I'd love it. I'd love to make it out there. See, I'm glad you agree with me on that, Kelsey. Yeah, I think that would be the logical thing. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you like the live stream. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I don't really get it. I always imagined the moment Tether Bitfinex would break, because the spread always got me concerned. But I was like, why is it dumping now? This doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry guys if the image quality went down for a second. Seems like Josh was saying that it dropped down a little bit. Sorry. Oh yeah, 120p. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting a few little drops here, guys. I've noticed that in the connection. I think we'll do this for a few more minutes, answer a few more questions, then we'll probably signal off for the night. Cobra Crypto Bobby is not annoying. Oh man, you can't talk shit about my boy Ron. Ron's a good guy. I'm sorry, I got defensive over Bobby there. Rob's I've met Rob in person. He's one of the coolest dudes. We actually, funny story, when we met together at a Malta conference, I've been in casinos before, but I never actually played like any casino games and stuff. When we went and played blackjack, he killed it. He crushed it. He was so nice. He gave me some chips after I lost a few. It was really cool hanging out with him. We had a good time. I like the fact that you're calm and collected. Oh, thanks, man. That's the way you got to be with markets. I would definitely look. I can tell you if I looked at my USD portfolio, I'm obviously like most people who are playing for more long-term swings or hodling. Yeah, I'm probably down, but I didn't get any stops triggered or anything like that because what I'm holding at the moment is more for the long-term swing, and I'm basically adding on the levels that I'm watching. Mark, yeah, I think I'm gonna really love it there. Such a beautiful place. Ah, good point, Kelsey. I should do an updated list of documentaries. Should do a video on that. Oh, looks like we got one of the Streamlab donations. Let me go ahead. Another tab here. Check that out real quick. So for some people who to watch for trading, Mir Barak actually just did, he's one of my guys, MEIRBARAK. Mir Barak is a really cool guy. He does more short-term trading on leverage, but he also has some great swing trading lessons that you can watch as well. Let's go here. Want to make sure. Okay, no, I don't want to learn more. Streamlabs is being a pain. Oh, Chris, thank you, man. It didn't look like you put a question through, but hey, I appreciate Chris. Thank you very much, man. Every bit of support really helps. And if you have a question, I'll try to look out for it in the comments. All right, good to see that the picture quality came back up. LP, what happened? So LP had asked, hey, Nick, missed the days when you talked about new projects in crypto. What happened? LP, I realized I got to start building my own project because there's too much crap out there, right? Just kidding. No, there's a lot of great projects. I think it, not oversimplifying it. First off, we're in a bear market. There's less innovation, less new projects. Obviously, less people raising capital. Honestly, I think that's good because most of what actually led to impact in this space were much more simpler concepts that were built open source. If I think about the DAO, when I think about multi-signature addresses, when I think about these new consensus mechanisms that aren't extremely over complex, these are the things that really push crypto forward. And what I'm really interested in now is things that aren't really volatile, and that is like stable coins. I'm very interested in the application of using stable coins like DAI that are decentralized and censorship resistant for crypto loans. That's what we're trying to kind of do over at Project Genesis is partnering with a variety of projects, building kind of the standard framework to build for lending and borrowing. And from there, we can really impact the world. And the cool thing is we're not creating a new coin or token, right? We're working with already existing systems. So I think that's a good place to start. Alrighty. Ezra, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see. Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? I'll tell you, I'll be fair, guys. If you think it's going to 6,000, obviously you can make a few hundred off that. But I'm waiting for this to come down and set a third low on this line. And I think it's going to be sometime in the summer where there's not too much of a range between the resistance and this line of support. But I don't think we're faltering through just yet. It looks like we're going to be holding this. Let's check if the hourly has settled yet. Oh, yep. Okay, we did close. That's good. I want to see this hold here for the next 2 to 3 hours, start to curve up. And from there, we'll probably have a pretty quick recovery if we can do that. Mac, no, I wasn't checking any extra charts, I promise. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it, man. All right, everyone. Well, we'll do one more question, and I think we'll sign off for the night. I've covered a good amount of ground here. Again, for those of you who are just coming in, had a big flash crash in crypto due to the fact that Bitfinex, the operator Bitfinex, and Tether Limited have been accused of covering up losses with, I'm assuming it's customer funds that they owned. Khalid said, what's the news with the Golden Cross? Guys, I think stuff like that that's so expected, it's not going to be all that beneficial for crypto, right? We can take a look here. Golden Cross happened. Oh, Green Day. Oh, pfft. You know, don't use these very time-tested legacy systems that used to work good in crypto because crypto was an early market. You know, things like that will not be able to allow you to just time the market. You have to look at a variety of macro factors within crypto, and try not to trade these smaller time frames, guys. You'll get ruined by algorithms and people who are manipulating and know when these events are happening. Glad to hear it, Richard. Tetra coins, good point. Love your video about recessions and the dangers of printing money. Then my phone pings and I see USD Tether printing bags of money. It was coincidental timing. I saw that earlier. Okay, so we got one more here. Cryptoad said, "Hi Nicholas, apparently a donation gets your attention. Can you do a review on Cloudcoin?" Oh, Cryptoad, I appreciate it. I'll look into it, man. But the reason why, like, I get a lot of people asking me about so many different altcoins. Man, there's too many out there. I'm definitely interested in looking at Cloudcoin, so I'll give it a look when I get the chance. But I already have 100 different altcoins people have requested me to check into. So sorry if I don't get to answering everyone's messages. Cole, no problem, man. Glad I could answer your question. But CryptoTed, I'll be sure to try and give it a look. All right, guys. I think we'll signal that it for tonight. Oh, Neil said, sorry, a name of the trader. So I don't have any like documentaries. The trader that I was mentioning is Amir Barak, MEIR BARAK. I think I spelled that right. If I did, I should get a cookie. But yeah, there's a lot of great documentaries I could recommend that aren't really about trading, but are more about financial markets and central banking and, all kinds of really cool stuff like that. So a lot of good channels. VPro is really good. VPRO. That's like, they do all kinds of documentaries. There's also the Princes of the Yen. That one talks about how the Japanese built up one of the largest stock booms in history, asset bubbles in history. Property values were ridiculous. There's all kinds of stuff. So I'll be sure to put a document list. Another one you should watch as well. It's by John Pilger, JOHN PILGER, I think. Might be spelled his last name wrong, but if you look up War by Other Means, that's his documentary, and it's very sad, but it's an oldie but a goodie in that case, and it will teach you a lot about how the IMF and the World Bank have played a role in actually leaving the world worse off by intervening and basically through debt extracting resources from these developing countries for developing nations. And it's really upsetting. So that's why I think crypto is going to do great in these economies. But anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you as always for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you all will go ahead and check out my most recent video talking about why I believe a recession is coming, the facts and data behind it, without being too fear-mongering or anything. Oh, it's not, it's coming next week. No, it's not coming next week. But it is something to keep an eye on, and I think it's something that you can use to, get an understanding of how to prepare for it and just to understand it to some degree. It's a cool topic. As someone mentioned, it's more drama than the Kardashians. All right, guys. Well, anyways, I'm keeping a smile on with this downward price action. I hope you are too. It was great chatting with you guys. Glad to see so many people in the live stream in such a silent market. As always, I'll be here when you need me. But until the next video, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. I almost forgot. Should I do an Obama accent as I walk out? I saw you looking pretty at me. I can't leave you behind, baby. All right. See you guys. Take care.